There's Scott Nevins in the house. How are you?
What's going on? How are you guys?
What's going on with you? I hear that they're loving you so much they're calling you a prettier, gayer Kathy Griffin these days.
I know. I do love that, but my forehead actually starts where it's supposed to and not in the back of my head. That's the only difference between the two of us.
We were talking about you coming on the show, and I picked up Fab yesterday and saw a little tidbit about your experiences at this year's Oscars.
Oh, Lord.
So you have to spill.
Well, I kind of want to save it for the show. I'll tell you one story.
Tell me one story.
Okay, so I was sitting fifth row center, which amazing.
That's pretty good, Scott Nevins.
I slept with the right people this year, let me tell you.
Okay.
So I was there, and it was like me, and to my right is Meryl Streep, and then in my row is Steven Spielberg.
A gay boy's dream is coming true.
Right, and she looked amazing. Like, I thought she looked like Skeletor in a turban, but she didn't. Like, she looked amazing. So we're there, and we're kind of like hanging out. We go to the governor's ball, and then we go to the Vanity Fair party, which is the real party you want to be in. Like, if you're in the know, you want to be there. So I'm at Vanity Fair, totally talking it up with people, and they're giving out In-N-Out burgers. And in California, it's this place called In-N-Out Burger that is the most amazing burger. Now, since I'm in Toronto, I will say it's not as fierce as Kraft Burger, which I'm obsessed with. I literally ate Kraft Burger last night and told somebody that I'm not going to throw it up. It was that good. I was going to let it stay in my system. So they're handing out In-N-Out burgers, and I'm eating it. It's my favorite thing in the world. And then I really have to go to the bathroom.
Oh, dear.
And so I have a burger in one hand.
That's not elegant.
No, it's not.
At the Oscars, at the Vanity Fair party.
At the Vanity Fair party, I'm talking to Anne Hathaway, and I'm like, you know what? I got to pee. And she says, you're going to bring the burger in? I was like, yeah. It's like, why not? So I go into the bathroom, and there's two guys. I'm like, gentlemen, I'm trashy. I'm from Queens, New York. You know, I ain't classy.
Pardonnez-moi.
Yeah, I'm coming in with my burger. And they were like, dude, whatever you want. They were like doing blow on the counter. They didn't know. So I'm in there, and I'm holding the burger and peeing at the urinal. And at the
This sounds like going out with you, frankly, Mark Whitmore.
This will actually be recreated after my show if you buy it.
Excellent.
And I'm peeing at the urinal.
Admit it. You were
like,
coked out. You were peeing at the counter.
It was Kraft Burger last night. I was peeing at the counter. So
in the corner.
So I'm there, and I'm holding the burger and holding something else, and I hear, "Nice burger, dude." And I look up, and it's Zac Efron.
Oh, no.
Efron.
With that angelic face.
Stealth in your burger.
Yeah, and looking at my burger. And all I could
Just the burger?
Just the burger. Of course, I was looking down. But all I could, which was disappointing, but all I can say was the only thing that came to my mind to say, I looked at him, and I went, really? You know, if you had said nice meat, this would have ended a lot differently.
A lot differently.
And grabbed my burger and walked out.
Well, now, I have to ask you, Mark wants us to wrap this up for one quick second, but was he cut or uncut?
You know, I couldn't tell. I tried to look. I really did. It was disappointing.
I know the listener wants to know. I'm only asking for that.
Listener, it was disappointing.
More with Scott Nevins in a moment. He is playing Buddies in Bad Times Theater with his new show, Recessionista, cheaper than a tank of gas, starting tomorrow night and running through Saturday.
It's a long run. Chat about that.
We'll be there. We'll be back in a few minutes.
And it's 5:15. 103.9 Proud FM and the Sean Cruz Show. A little Brandy Lover wouldn't get in the car with her. And before that, Casey and the Sunshine Band. With us right now, Scott Nevins, Recessionista, cheaper than a tank of gas.
Listen, Brandy said it almost doesn't count. She said that right before she ran over somebody.
Exactement. Scott, let's just, before we talk about your show, ask you the poll of the day. You're an American, and obviously a lot of stuff going on down there. But are you feeling a bit more militant? Do you support companies that don't treat their queer staff properly?
No, you know what? And I'm living in LA right now, and you guys were talking about finding, how you can find out which companies do and don't. When Prop 8 happened, there was actually a list of people who donated to Yes on Prop 8 to, ban gay marriage, and that list became public. So in America, in the States, we can find out who at least donated, so you find out the companies.
A great example of this, and this is something that Toronto guys will relate to, Manhunt is owned by a couple of guys.
I don't know what that is. I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Stop messaging me.
I got yelled at. I got booed on stage because I said manhunt.com, and I didn't know it was .net. I've really never been on, and people booed at me.
No, whatever.
I just go into bathrooms and look for Republican
some real
senators.
Manhunt fans. Yeah, there you go.
Two of the owners are gay. One of them is a Republican and donated money to John McCain for his run at the presidency. So all these Manhunt members were like, "You're taking our money." you're selling us, the opportunity to get laid, and then you're going and giving it to a man who would see us with no rights.
To support John McCain, who's older than Cher and Joan Rivers combined. And Sarah Palin, who's just a caribou in a wig. I can't stand her.
So we've got your answer there, and then let's talk about your show on tomorrow night and Saturday night at Buddies and Bad Times Theater. Tell.
Yeah, it's spelled with an R-E. It's that fancy in Toronto. The show is called Recessionista. I thought it was a timely title. And it's kind of just this comedy show I've been doing all over the States. And I wanted to bring it to Toronto because I've been here and I fell in love with Toronto. And I thought the audiences were really smart here and I thought they would get it. And so we're bringing the show, and it's kind of stories about working as a celebrity interviewer and meeting a lot of big-time divas and working with them, and now I'm kind of telling all the sordid tales, and I talk about my crazy, drunk Irish Catholic family.
Because, as you look at your bio here, it's kind of hard to pinpoint what it is you actually are.
Yeah, of course. I do about 16 different things. I am a chameleon. I am. I blend in nicely. But yeah, so it's this thing of, nobody knows what I do, and that's where this show came from, was just kind of selling my soul and telling the stories of working with Liza, Tammy Faye Baker, and RuPaul, and
right.
That's all I'll say.
All right, tickets $18, and Buddies and Bad Times Theater is a place to go for that tomorrow night at 8 and Saturday at 8. Scott, thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me on.
You're very welcome. You're listening to the Pride of Toronto.